So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our off-season rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Orlando Magic. Orlando finished out the regular season with a record of 47-35. That was good enough for the 5 spot in the Eastern Conference, and considering the fact that they had the number 1 overall draft pick in 2022, that is really, really good. So I give a ton of credit to the entirety of this organization in the front office for how quickly they've really been able to turn this thing around. Paolo, absolute superstar, is going to be the franchise piece moving forward for this team. I just cannot say enough good things about the direction of Orlando. So obviously had a tough exit in 7 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers this year in round 1. Pretty sure they had like an 18-point lead at one point in game 7, but ultimately this is a young team and a very, very promising future ahead. Our goal is to obviously turn this thing into a championship in 3 years, but of course, before we do, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. Of course, we're going to be finishing up all of these off-season rebuilds very shortly, along with many prospect rebuilds that we have still yet to get into, so I know I'm going to be bouncing back and forth a lot between those 2 series. Of course, there are still challenges and other rebuilds you guys probably do want to see, so let me know anything and everything you want to see down below in the comments section. Let's get into this one. We're going to start this offseason rebuild the way we do with pretty much all of them. Let's go ahead and have a conversation about this roster and really kind of the future of my outlook and how I believe we're going to go about rebuilding this team. So starting out at the point guard spot, Jalen Suggs has been absolutely fantastic. I truly believe he's one of the best defensive, especially perimeter guards in all of basketball. 6'5", of course, isn't going to be that elite scoring threat that you see so many of these guys are nowadays, but I truly do think he can be the point guard on this team for the entirety of this video. So, of course, it's going to be kind of a year-to-year thing, but I have high hopes. Cole Anthony is here. I didn't really hear a ton about Cole Anthony this season. I'm not going to lie to you. So, he's still only 24, 79 overall. So, I like the contract quite a bit. I just don't know if he's ever going to have a starting role in this team, but he's certainly a serviceable role player here. Markelle Fultz, I believe, is going to be entering free agency. I'm not really sure what his future looks like here. He's kind of the third guy in line right now with the point guard spot. So, he's 26, obviously former number 1 overall pick, career never really panned out in Philadelphia, and is now here in Orlando and has certainly been better, but I just really don't know how much we're going to get out of him today, especially with the depth we do have. And then we didn't even talk about Anthony Black, who was the 6th overall pick in last year's draft. Of course, just had a rookie season where he has a lot of guys ahead of him, and I'd certainly like to try to find a way to get him into the rotation somehow. So whether that's at the point guard spot, shooting guard spot, we're certainly going to get him some minutes in this rebuild. Then we go over to the shooting guard spot. Gary Harris actually, I think, was a really, really good kind of fit with this team. I'm not sure if he's going to end up being kind of in their future plans, but 29 years old, 76 overall. I think it's always great to have veteran, experienced players when you have a really, really young core. So I like Gary Harris quite a bit. Unfortunately, I just don't know if he's as important here in 2K as he potentially is in real life. Caleb Houston's only 21 years old. We'll see what the potential looks like. Maybe can crack the rotation at some point in time. Small forward spot. Franz Wagner, I like a lot. I think this guy's going to be good for a very, very long time. The 3-point shooting was obviously pretty rough this season. It almost felt like an outlier compared to how he has looked in previous seasons, but yeah, I don't know. I think Franz is certainly going to be kind of our number 2 guy throughout the entirety of today's video. At least that's my plan right now. So we'll see. Joe Ingles, he's 36, obviously a veteran player. I don't really know how much use he's going to have in today's 2K rebuild. Certainly always good to have veterans on the team in real life, much like Gary Harris. Jett Howard was also a first-round pick last year, number 11 overall. Not a ton of run here in year 1, so again, hopefully there's a little bit of untapped potential in there that we can kind of crack into a little bit, because still only 20, and he was taken 11th overall, so we'll see. Man of the hour, face of the franchise, Paolo just kind of had an absolutely unbelievable kind of first playoff run. I know it was short, only 1 series, but 7 games is all I really needed to be convinced that this guy's a star, and he's going to be for a very, very long time. Zero plans to moving on from him. Will likely be our number 1 entirety of today's video. Jonathan Isaac, I know, played a little bit of 5 as well. Obviously, he's dealt with quite a bit of injuries in his career. Tremendous defensive player, not a lot offensively, but I really do think he could be an important rotation piece here for us today. Chuma Okeke, I don't really have many plans for him. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, again, the overall is decent. He's certainly a role player enough, but he's 25. Looks like he's going to be entering free agency either with a team option or maybe just unrestricted. So we'll see. And then the center spot's an interesting one for me. I don't necessarily mind Wendell Carter Jr. I do think there is an upgrade out there at some point. I love the contract, but, I just don't know how much better Wendell Carter Jr. is going to get. So we'll see. Mo Wagner is certainly kind of a high-energy backup center. This dude always torches the Celtics whenever he plays for them. Pretty sure they gave him like a 10-day contract once, and now he's pissed Good God. And then Goga, who I haven't heard a lot about in a long time. So that's a fun name, but that's all I really got there. So yes, we are using the shared file that I have, well, it's actually not a shared file. I created it myself. It has the accurate draft lottery or draft order for the first round. So that's why we're doing it. We have the 18th overall pick. Let's get into it. All right, head coach Jamal Mosley. I think he's done a fantastic job with this team. Certainly going to be keeping him for, the near future, long-term future. I have no plans on moving on. So we will skip over all of this. Let's head up to the draft. The 18th overall pick is certainly going to give us a little bit of flexibility. I will probably draft somebody in all likelihood. I don't know if I'll use my second round pick, but 18 is kind of that spot where you can still get somebody who can contribute. So let's just go ahead and do it. Who's Atlanta going to take number 1 overall? Obviously, yesterday you guys saw my Alexander Sarr Atlanta Hawks rebuild. So are they going to go ahead? No, they take Ron Holland. All right, let's go ahead, skip ahead to our pick right here and see who is potentially available. Wow, Donovan Clingan is sitting here. Ooh, that might be the guy. I know Tyrese Proctor's here as well. I've drafted him in the past. Zach Edey is sitting here. Carlton Carrington, Mystery, Carter, Wagner. I think Donovan Clingan, who in all likelihood is going to be a top 5 pick, makes a lot of sense for us. Obviously, the rankings aren't really there, but you know what? Could potentially be something for us. I don't think it's the biggest position in need, but then again, there's a lot of depth on this team. There's really not many big positions of need. So Clingan's going to be my guy. I think that makes the most sense for us. And then I'm just going to move on from my second round pick. We have a lot of depth on this team. Might as well just acquire a future second. So thank you very much, Cleveland. Let's sim to the end of this draft. Excited to have Clingan here. Not exactly sure what his role will be, but we'll hopefully finally find some minutes for him. All right, so Banchero obviously coming back on the 2-year team. And then Ingles has an $11 million option. I'll probably pick it up. It's not a realistic rebuild. I don't think Joe Ingles will be here next year, but of course we can always just trade him for something. I don't know. So excited to do that. Qualifying Okiki. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to give him it. Not for $7.5 million. Barely going to crack the rotation. So we're going to renounce his qualifying offer, meaning he can enter unrestricted free agency. And then here in our free agent period, obviously this is an interesting class. We have Fultz and Okiki for ourselves, but you have LeBron here. Maxey's, of course, going to go back to Philly. Got PG, got DeRozan, Siakam. So, from the perspective of could we maybe get one of the big names here, I'm sure it's possible. Under some circumstances, we do have a little bit of money to play with, but of course have to clear up a little bit more. I just don't know who here really makes the most sense for us, right? I'm sure there's a way, and it's 2024. You can play guys literally at any position. So I'm sure if they wanted to go out and try to sign a Paul George, I don't really know if DeMar makes a lot of sense. Siakam probably doesn't either, but there are certainly some guys here that they could take a run at if they wanted to. So I'm actually kind of interested in Nick Claxton. Like Nick Claxton would be kind of, in my opinion anyways, almost an immediate upgrade at the center spot. And again, I know it's not, in terms of overall, it's maybe not crazy. That's 94/4. I'm also sure Brooklyn's just going to match whatever it is, but why the hell not? Let's just see if we can maybe try to get Nick Claxton. I think I'd prefer him over Wendell Carter Jr. It's about $24 million a year. So if I maybe just give him I don't know, I might overpay a bit to kind of entice, maybe Cleveland not to match. So I'll throw him a contract offer. We'll see. And then Fultz might just let him go. So we're going to pick up Claxton. I am going to renounce Gary Harris. Unfortunately, wow, Fultz has a $25.5 million cap hold. It's a little bit of a risk maybe, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to sign Claxton. Fultz is just not really needed here anymore. So are they going to match Claxton? They're not. All right, Nicholas Claxton is officially going to be our new center moving forward. Again, maybe wasn't necessarily something I absolutely had to do, but I do prefer him over Wendell Carter Jr. And so that's the direction we're going. And now maybe it's time for a Wendell Carter Jr. trade. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we just pulled off a very, very big trade with the Philadelphia 76ers. I gave up quite a bit. Wendell Carter Jr., Joe Ingles, Mo Wagner, couple first-round draft picks, and then I did end up giving up Jett Howard as well. I kind of wanted to keep him, see if I can maybe develop him a little bit, but ultimately he was kind of the final piece that Philadelphia was looking for, and we landed Tyrese Maxey. Was not necessarily expecting to land Tyrese Maxey, but obviously it has happened. And if you're wondering what we're going to do with the backcourt, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to move Suggs to the 2. A guy 6'5" will make it work. So a little bit of a surprising addition to this team. Wasn't necessarily expecting it, but having another star here who's only 23 certainly feels like a home run to me. So moving forward, our only goal right now is to find a backup for Franz Wagner. I am just going to play Clingan behind our new center here in Nick Claxton. It's kind of why we drafted him. So I don't know. Let's just see. Does Caleb Houston have any value? If not, I'll probably just end up moving on from him unless there's really somebody here. How tall is he? He's 6'8". I actually probably could give him some run at the backup small forward spot. I actually don't really hate that idea. Unless there's somebody who I think could be a little bit better, but You know what? Why the hell not? Let's just go ahead and let the young kid play. Caleb Houston going to be my new backup small forward. I will see you guys at the start of year number 1. It is officially the start of year number 1 for us here in Orlando. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think there's a lot of possibilities with this team. I think there's a much better chance we are really, really good than potentially really, really bad. Now, I know that's not saying much of the way this team's constructed, but considering the fact that, as I mentioned, just a couple of years ago, they had the number 1 overall pick, I'm not too surprised. Here's how it's going to look. Tyrese Maxey, obviously kind of the surprise of the offseason. Gave up a whole lot to get him, but I think it's very, very well worth it. Going to be taken over as our starting point guard. We obviously moved Jalen Suggs from the 1 to the 2. Still got Franz Wagner here at the 3. Paolo Banchero at the 4. And a new addition here with Claxton as our starting center. The bench unit is pretty good as well. Cole Anthony going to be my 6th man here. Got Jonathan Isaac backing up Paolo as our 7th man. Anthony Black and moved him to the shooting guard spot if you couldn't piece that together. Good to see him getting some real minutes right now. Klingon, who we just went ahead and drafted 18th overall. And then Caleb Houston, who will be getting some minutes as our backup small forward. So, again, I do think there's a real possibility this team can be a contender. Are we up there, with the Celtics and the New York Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks? I don't know if we're quite there yet, but I really do think the sky's the limit. So if everything goes well, I think this team can be contending this season. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. A record of 55-27 ends our first regular season here in Orlando. I will 1000% take that. Of course, that is an 8-game jump from where they finished the 23-24 season. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Luka gets his first career MVP. It is a 35-point triple-double, and he shot 45.5% from 3. I would say it's too unrealistic, but at this point, nothing would really surprise me. Ron Holland's Rookie of the Year. Atlanta ended up taking number 1 overall in what is a very interesting draft, to say the least. Ben Thompson, 6th Man of the Year in Houston. Wemby's your deep boy. Walker Kessler, Most Improved. Luka, Clutch Player of the Year. Mark Daignault, Head Coach of the OKC Thunder. Wins 66 games. It's going to take home Coach of the Year. So here are the standings. We are the 3 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We're going to have the Bucks in round 1. Certainly not my favorite matchup for a round 1 opponent, but I can live with it. And here is a look at the Western Conference. So let's talk about the numbers a little bit. Let's take a quick look, see how everybody did. It was Tyrese Maxey, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner as our big 3, and Suggs, Anthony, Claxton, Isaac, Klingon, Anthony Black, and Mr. Caleb Houston. Rebounds per game was Claxton, and then assists was Paolo, actually. Wow, it's not often your power forward leads you in assists. All right, let's see what we got here with the Milwaukee Bucks. It is Damian Lillard, Pat Connaughton in the starting 5. You got Cash Money, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez. So not a lot of real changes at all here with this Bucks team. Obviously, they've had some troubles in recent years, but a lot of that's probably been due to injuries. And right now, we are down 3-1. So obviously not going our way at the moment, and we get bounced in 6. I'm not really that surprised by that. I think they probably would have been a much better second-round opponent, but you live and you learn. It is a Celtics and Thunder finals, and the Thunder go on to win in 6. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, your finals MVP. I'll take that as a first season. Obviously, it sucks losing in the first round, but you know what? We're going to make maybe a couple tweaks. Another year of development will be good. All right, LeBron calls it a career. Oh, wait, I can't override that because I did year 1. Shit. That stinks. Eric Gordon was on this roster. He's calling it a career. So LeBron officially riding off into the sunset. LeBron and Russ both entering the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements. Oh, Klay Thompson's a Hall of Famer. I don't really know how that's a debate. And then Blake Griffin finally, I say he retired as well. Let's take a look at the draft lottery real quick. I know we're not going to be picks in here. It is Houston, Brooklyn. Wow, look at their 2 picks right there. They're both just swapped. Oklahoma City, Chicago, and then, Houston once again. Staff signing, still very happy with the job Jamal Mosley has done. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Certainly no fireable offenses or anything like that. So we're good with him. Up to the draft. We have 2 seconds. Going to take a pass. I don't really think either of those would. I know some people like to see me draft guys late in round 2. It's not like real life. You don't hit, gems. You don't find the Nikola Jokic's and the Draymond Greens in round 2, unfortunately, here in 2K. Paolo, Black, and Houston all going to be picked up on team options. We look at qualifying. Franz and Jalen Suggs are certainly 2 players I'd like to extend. So let's go ahead and take a look at doing that. Oh, and Isaac. So let's just go ahead and just pay the guys whatever they're asking for. Wow, that's a lot of money. And hopefully we can kind of call it a day, and we can. All right, so, there was really not a lot else we can do. There's not a lot of flexibility. We kind of, I don't want to say went all in last offseason, but we kind of picked out a direction where we wanted to go, and ultimately the contracts kind of determine where we're heading in terms of spending power. So I'm good with this right now. Again, I don't really think there's a reason to panic, make a lot of changes. I honestly might just kind of run it back. I know nobody really loves when I do that, but I really do think this is a young group and it has 1 more year development. Maybe we'll find out who we really are next season. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. We finished last season with a record of 55-27, and although a super encouraging regular season, it was clearly a very disappointing and short postseason run. So we ultimately decided we didn't want to make any changes to this team. 1 through 10 are all going to be returning, and another year of development certainly looks like it could be beneficial for us. So here goes nothing. It is Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Nick Claxton. Bench unit will now be led by Anthony Black, as he is now our new highest overall. Taking over as the sixth man, you got Jonathan Isaac in here. Cole Anthony, I actually want to swap these two. That's my bad. I did that wrong the first time. Anthony, Isaac, got Donovan Clingan in here, and then Caleb Houston. So there's certainly still a lot of talent here. You know, nothing has obviously changed, and just got to have a really good regular season once again, and hopefully a little bit of a longer postseason run. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. A 7-game improvement throughout the regular season finishes us with a record of 62-20. Obviously, that's even better than last season, and I am hoping and praying that it's a much better playoff run as well. It's another MVP for Luka. It is not a 35.1. It's a 31-point triple-double. Oh my God. Dylan Harper, Rookie of the Year in OKC. Josh Giddey found a new home in San Antonio, and I'm going to keep my Josh Giddey comments to myself. Wemby, your Defensive Player of the Year. I love it. Scotty Barnes is now a Wizard. I don't know why the Raptors are moving on from the face of their franchise, but there are decisions, and that's not a good one. Steph Curry, Clutch Player of the Year. Jamal Mosley. Hell yeah, baby. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. All right, let's take a look at the standings. Typically, you get Coach of the Year, you're the 1 seed, and it was the best record in all basketball. So could it be our year? Again, still a very young group, but we're clearly talented enough. So here's a look at the numbers. Feel free to pause. Rebounds per game was Clax, and assists is Tyrese Maxey. Round 1 of the playoffs. It is us in the Cleveland Cavaliers, who no longer have Donovan Mitchell. Did add OG Anunoby, but you know, they're a good team still. I'm not going to lie to you, but no Donovan Mitchell scares me significantly less than if he was there. So we are 1-1 right now with Cleveland go up 2-1, up 3-1, and we close them out in 5. Now we're running back last year's first round with the Milwaukee Bucks. They have these, oh no, they've made some changes. All right, Landry Shamit's in here. Charles Bassey instead of Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis. They have Miles Bridges, a significantly not so great human off the bench, Andre Jackson Jr. So round 2, they definitely have the best player in the series. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I think we might be a better team though. That's revenge. I'll take it. Moving on here to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Wizards, I have no idea what they've done to land Jalen Brunson and Scotty Barnes, but they've done it. I know Jalen Brunson was a free agent. They probably signed him there. I have no idea how they got Scotty, but pretty good team. Really talented duo. Here goes nothing in the East Finals. We are 1-1 right now with DC. Go up 2-1. Up 3-1. Don't do this. Thank you. On to the NBA Finals here in year 2. We're taking on the defending champs. Tyrese Maxey was absolutely hooping in the Eastern Conference Finals. And this is a Thunder team that, although is very much young like we are, they are battle tested. They won a championship last year. So I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you, but just got to go out and play basketball. Here goes nothing. We drop game 1 at home. Win game 2. Win game 3. Win game 4. And as we head back to Orlando, okay, that's not the start I was looking for what potentially could be a closeout game. Let's not try to shit our pants. Oh my God. Look at these quarters. That's insane. Well, we are going back to Oklahoma City for a game 6. Not necessarily something anybody wanted to see, but we just got to play basketball. Like, we can't get run off the floor, right? You can't do that. So let's just kind of take it slowly but surely. And, okay. I'll see you guys in there. We are being outscored 24-15 in this fourth quarter so far, and that is the reason that this is still a basketball game, unfortunately. So I got to kind of lock it in a little bit, as I'm sure many of you are privy to. I'm not exactly a talented 2K player. I like to think that's on me. Just look at the timing of my statement. As I'm sure many of you are aware, I'm not very good at this game, the gameplay part. I'm pretty decent at rebuilding. I've been doing it for 6 years now or whatever. Jesus Christ, I'm old. But certainly not great at the gameplay part. Never have been. Probably never will be. So I got to focus right now. I know we typically talk about... Oh, shit. Thank you. We talk about the teams and where, you know, their future is kind of at in real life, but ultimately, I just got to lock it in. Tyrese Maxey, thank you very much. That's what I'm fucking talking about, Tyrese. All right, it is a 6-point ball game. 2:30 on the clock. I don't love the SGA Tyrese Maxey matchup. I would prefer to have Franz guarding him. He misses the bunny, and he misses another one. Okay. Did I say Franz? I meant Jalen Suggs guarding SGA, and... they're just not running. We're just moving in transition way better than they are defensively. All right, we have extended this lead even further. It is up to an 8-point game now. I really wish they could switch this matchup. I know there's a button to hit, and I am just falling asleep. I'm not playing on ball defense against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm just not doing it. All right, I got to focus. I got to try to be strategic when wasting time, but not just completely wasting a possession. So let's call an ISO. SGA, obviously a good defensive guard. And I'm going to call a screen at probably like 7 seconds. I'm not even moving. I don't know why it is. All right, let's hang on and call the screen right now. Come give me one here, Paolo. Oh, my God. Why is that so easy? What the fuck is this Thunder defense? I'm not complaining about it. I'm genuinely curious. All right, well, they are, not playing on-ball defense. Nope, not doing it. Sorry. Jalen Williams is over here. Let's just try to lean off a little bit, see if we can give him some help. God damn it. God damn it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to the free throw line. That's where he does some of his best work. And, yeah, we just got to weather the storm a little bit. They're getting the looks. They're going through their best player, which I fully, understand and respect. We just got to find a way to kind of limit him. Is there a way that I can set the matchups? No. Team adjustments. No. How do you do it? Oh, matchups. Shit, now I'm on offense. Shit. All right, I'll do it the next. That's not what I meant to do. I'm all over the place. Inside to Clax? What the fuck is going on right now? I was spamming the fucking button and it wouldn't hit. All right, R1. Tyrese Maxey, no. This is driving me fucking crazy. Jalen Suggs, SGA. No, not going to switch. I'm doing it wrong. And now I'm going to blow a fucking lead. All right, let's focus. I need one fucking basket here, and this thing's over. All right. Waste the clock again. Call the ISO. This is insane. All right, let's just do this. Blow by him. All right, he did a really good job of keeping his feet. Okay. Paolo, can we just work it down low here? I'm losing it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We end up closing out the defending champs on their home floor in 6 games, and Paolo Banchero, at the ripe age of 23, is your finals MVP. Those are some insane numbers all across the board from him. Just a thing of beauty. All right, so championships in year 2s are always some of my favorites. It obviously alleviates some of the pressure heading into the final regular. Oh my God, Steph retired. I didn't even notice that. Holy shit. Obviously, which is good. Wow, I can't believe Steph retired. I never really see him retire in these videos. And we're projected the 4th overall pick somehow. I have no idea. Do we actually have it? We do. It's at number 4. Wow. Okay. Well, that certainly changes, well, really nothing about the main kind of guys on this team. Not changing the starting 5 at all. But potentially somebody on the bench. So I don't know if I'm going to draft somebody there or really what my plan is. I don't need these fucking, god damn it. Why does this game make it so hard to trade draft picks? It drives me crazy. Maybe I'll draft a Caleb Houston replacement. I don't really know. I know he's entering free agency. I don't really know who's sitting here. Wait a minute. Is this not? Wait. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different draft class. All right. Jacob Wilkins. Looks like he's ranked 3rd overall. Sure. I don't know. Welcome to the date. Who really cares? I don't know why. Oh, I'm thinking of 2025. All right. He's a 75 overall. I'll bring back everybody here. I might just let Caleb Houston go, honestly, and then just make that the final change. So we're obviously going to pay Paolo. I'm just going to let Caleb Houston go. Honestly, it's unfortunate. We're not going to make a ton of changes in today's video, but that's just the way the team kind of came together so well in year 1. So we'll have a new backup small forward off the bench, but other than that, we are all set. See you guys at the start of the final regular season. A year 2 championship resulted in very little changes heading into our final regular season, but ultimately, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of. So, I mean, we're obviously not making, major moves or didn't make major moves, but it wasn't really a reason to. I think the starting 5 fits very well together, and you know what? Here goes nothing. Maxey, Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, Claxton, Black, Anthony, Isaac, Klingon, and then new addition here, Jacob Wilkins. It's a little strange that a 4th overall pick getting only 10 minutes a night off the bench, but that's what happens when you win a championship. So this is it, man. I'll see you guys at the end of the year, number 3. Well, it is another MVP for Luka, this time just in a Sacramento Kings jersey. Could have been a real thing if, they weren't such idiots there in Sacramento. We go 66 in 16. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Topic, Wemby, Jaden Hardy, Jalen Green, Jamal Mosley once again. I don't really care about the records and the numbers. It's just go out and win another one. That's all I'm really asking for right now. Here are the stats. We'll check them out quickly. Banchero, Maxey, Wagner. Cool. Really cool. Boards was Clax, and then assists is Maxey. So we are the 1 seed once again. It is us and the Brooklyn Nets. Jamal Murray. Oh, my God. It's an insane backcourt, especially come playoff time. That's an insane backcourt. Bailey Johnson, Mo Wagner. The rest of their surrounding core obviously isn't, fantastic, but it's still pretty decent. Here goes nothing. We're up 3-1 right now. We close them out in 5. All right, moving on to New York here in round 2, who have Cade Cunningham, DiVincenzo, Drake Powell, Randall. Interesting team. I think we're better. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. We are up 2-1. Okay. Don't do this bullshit to me. Thank you. Oh, shit, didn't mean to do that. All right, it is Eastern Conference Finals time against the Wizards once again. They have relatively... Oh, Keegan Murray's there. Play Scotty at the 3. Start Keegan Murray. All right, here goes nothing. Up 2-0. Up 3-0. I don't know how that's a clean sweep. It is us and the New Orleans Pelicans here. We avoid the 1 seed Thunder for the rematch, and I'm actually fine with that. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Thanks for coming. All right, Paolo, another Finals MVP, and that is 2 championships. This was such a fun rebuild. I know we did a lot of the legwork in year 1, so maybe it got, a little boring near the end, and for that I apologize, but, I'm not going to switch something up that's working, right? You guys get it. So, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. We, have a lot going on right now. It's that time of year as we, slowly approach the offseason. We have prospect rebuilds. Eventually, we'll have free agency rebuilds and more offseason rebuilds to come. So, that's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.